Hey y'all, and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about a way that we can use a model to multiply a fraction times a whole number. The model we're going to be using today are fraction circles. And all we're going to do is we're going to draw those number of circles, then shade them in. Let's check it out. So I've got 2/3, if I have 2/3, and I want to multiply 2/3 times 4. Here's what I would do. First, I would look at 4 as my whole number. That's how many circles I need. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, I would split them up according to how much my denominator says. So my denominator says 3. That means that each one of these circles has to be split up into 3 equal parts. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Each one is split up into 3 equal parts. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say I have 2 out of every one of the 3 shaded. So I'm going to look just at one circle at a time, and I'm going to shade in 1, 2 out of every 3. I'm going to shade in 1, 2 out of every 3. 1, 2 out of every 3. And 1, 2 out of every 3. To find my answer, I just count up how many thirds I shaded. I shaded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I shaded a total of 8 things that are thirds. So my answer is 8/3. I could, of course, if I wanted to, simplify this down into a mixed number by dividing, but for right now, let's just leave it as an improper fraction. I've got 8/3. 2/3 times 4 gave me 8/3. Let's try another example. Okay, so first I'm going to do 3/4. 3/4 times 2. Which one of these numbers tells us how many circles to draw? Well, it's this whole number. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look at my whole number, and that's how many circles I'm going to draw. I'm going to draw 1, 2 circles. Which one of these numbers now tells us how much to split those circles into, or how many pieces to split them into? It's my denominator. My denominator tells us we should split them into 4 pieces. So I'm going to split this one up into 4 pieces, and I'm going to split this one up into 4 pieces. Next, my numerator tells us how many of those pieces I should shade. So I'm going to shade in 3 on each of these circles. I'm shading in 3. And I don't have to shade exactly the same 3 in each one of those circles. I can if that helps me. But as long as I shade in 3, everything is good. I just have to shade in 3 of those circles. The last thing I do is I count up how many parts I've shaded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've shaded 6 parts out of, we said, each one of those parts are fourths. So I have 6 things that are fourths, or 6/4. That's an improper fraction, and we could change it into a mixed number, but for now, all we have to do is find our answer. 6/4. We did 3/4 times 2 gave us 6/4. Okay, let's try one last one. This time, let's say I want to do the whole number first. And I can do it the same way. 3 times, let's go with 2/5. Go ahead and pause the video and you try to solve this one. 3 times 2/5. When you're done, come back and check your work. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my whole number, 3. That's how many circles, or you could actually, if you wanted to, use rectangles. That's how many circles you have to use. 1, 2, 3. Then my denominator says, let's split those up into 5 equal-sized parts. There's 5 parts in here. There's 5 parts in here. And there's 5 parts in here. That's my denominator, told me to split them up into 5 equal-sized parts. Then I look at my numerator and I'm going to shade 2 of them. And again, it doesn't matter which 2 you shade as long as you shade 2 into each of the squares or each of the circles. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It doesn't matter which ones you choose to shade in as long as each one of these circles has 2 of them shaded in. You could make them all be in the same place, or you could shade 2 into each one of those wherever you feel like. To find our answer, we count up how many are shaded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 things shaded out of parts that were fifths. 6 fifths. There's our answer. How'd you do? All right, I hope this helped, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.